I am Jason Burgos, and I'm joined by quarterback expert Crissy Froyd, and she's here to talk about Ohio State QB CJ Stroud. Crissy, what did CJ do last year to kind of separate himself from his college QB contemporaries?
Well, I think it comes down to the fact that just from early on that there was never a lot to really go back and fix throughout CJ Stroud's game. Maintained a high level of accuracy, a high level of consistency, and there's really just not a lot more that you want to see from him. And then he's with a good team overall that consistently keeps itself kind of in the playoff hunt. And so I think that he's just separated himself with the just from a mental aspect, from a passing aspect, with everything that he can do into that elite level category very early on.
What does he need to do to this season to kind of maintain this high level of status he's put?
I think it just comes down, at least at this point, to outdoing Bryce Young and doing exactly what he did last season. I thought that he took care of business this season. It's just a matter of that's kind of things with quarterbacks these days, though, is how consistent can you be? Because we see a lot of guys that come in and they're kind of a flash in the pan for a while, or they have one or two really good standout seasons. So this is just another year for him to kind of go on and prove that with the Buckeyes.
The big goal, and especially for more casual fans and stuff like that, is all about the Heisman Trophy. What do you think his odds are of winning the Heisman Trophy this season?
I think they're extremely high. I mean, I think that it's going to come down from a quarterback perspective to him and Bryce Young, which is crazy because in that instance, if Bryce Young were to take it home, he would win it for 2 years in a row, which would really just be quite an interesting phenomenon to see. So I think that if he can take the Buckeyes to not necessarily new heights, this is a team that's been successful for a long time, but if he can keep them in contention for the postseason and kind of go in and do what he did last year, and then not be surpassed by Bryce Young, it's from a quarterback perspective, I think the Heisman is going to have to end up going to him just as a really early prediction. And then it's going to be interesting kind of to see from the defensive player's standpoint and then the offensive player standpoint across the country, just at different positions, who emerges, because we've always got a few guys like that. And while this is an award that has been quarterback heavy in the past, we could always see somebody else make a push.
And then you need to think about the Heisman is it's the MVP sort of college, but it doesn't necessarily mean that is the best quarterback in that year of college. You see some Heisman Trophy winners maybe get drafted later than some other quarterbacks. That said, would you say CJ is the best quarterback in this draft class that's coming up?
Yeah, I have him at QB1 right now, which, I mean, you go back through the rankings every single year and you compare the postseason to the preseason, they usually look entirely different. But I think, I mean, he's in a good situation to make a run for QB1. He could potentially be the first player off the board in the 2023 NFL draft. So, yeah, I think he's the best quarterback in the nation for now. And I think that just as long as he maintains what he's done, it's hard to see him falling beyond the first 10 picks of next year's draft, which is expected to be quarterback hungry once again with a better crop than this past season.